But before we even get there, let's just go a little bit more basic. I mean, for folks who are not so familiar with software development or technical teams and Scrum in
Yeah.
general, can you just give us a quick overview on what that's all about?
Yeah, totally. And Scrum, it was something that kind of came natural to me. I was in software development for about 12 years and just used it, right? Always worked in a fast and adaptive kind of way. Worked on one like really long plan-based project and a couple months, and I said, this is not for me. Like we're not responding to the things that we're learning. And so
Meaning, like up front, like some project leader wrote up a long, detailed document of how this big project, this product should be built, and then everyone just like follows the spec for like
yes,
a year or whatever.
yes, exactly. And when when you're doing things like building a building, you need the spec. If you're doing something repeatedly over and over again, you're trying to go through the same process, you need a spec and you're going to follow it. But when you're building something for the first time, or when you're trying to understand what it is that your customers need, and those could be like, like for your product, right? External customers, Clarityflow, who's their customers or something, or even internal, right? Let's say you're an HR group and your customers are your employees, right? And you're trying to figure out what policies might we use or shouldn't we use, like, that we actually want to take away, and how do they affect our whole organization. There's a lot of stuff that you can plan, and as soon as you present everyone with whatever it was that you decided, that's when you get all this feedback. We love this. This doesn't work. Can we have more of that, right? And Scrum is just, I would say, is just a way to help manage that, right? You work in 1 month or less chunks of time to build something that you could put into use, right? And it doesn't have to be something large. We're not talking like the whole product, and especially in terms of software, process, whatever, you can probably roll out incremental pieces and updates all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
so Scrum just gives you a framework to have the right conversations with the right people at the right time to kind of get that
Mm-hmm.
shared understanding of where we are, within our developments, what we think would be useful to go forward towards next, and then really focus in on, let's not try to build everything. Let's focus on building this thing right now and actually validate, was it useful and beneficial before we go build
Yeah.
something else.
So really, like, kind of boiling down what would seem like a mountain of to dos and tasks for a big software product or project that needs to be built, kind of boiling it down into like smaller chunks. But I guess maybe not. My understanding of it is kind of a lot less focus on the rest of the chunks and more of a focus on the here and now. Like, what's most important first, and let's just take this for a couple of weeks and focus on that
Yeah, there's
and learn from it and then adapt.
yeah, and I would say not an absent of a vision of where to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's sometimes Scrum actually backfires with teams where they focus too tightly, right? And that's actually a problem that I coach a lot of groups with is, hey, we just keep getting fed stuff for like right now, and it just feels like everything's changing on us all the time. We don't really seem to have any direction of where we're going. And Scrum and just product development in general has the concept of like, what is your vision for this product? What goal do you have that you're trying to achieve? How we get there doesn't matter as much as the outcomes that we're going for. So yeah, that same part of what is the general thing we're trying to do. And then yes, let's focus on what can we affect right now. And then the other decisions, let's avoid making decisions until we have to, is kind of the way it is,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that you don't over put too much work into things that won't come to pass.
Hey, just a quick break to tell you about Clarityflow. It's the software tool loved by coaches and their clients for communicating asynchronously in threaded conversations using video, audio, or text. My team and I designed Clarityflow for the modern day coach. It lets you give clients a single place to engage with you and all that you offer through your coaching business. Run coaching groups, cohorts, and communities using our Spaces feature. Create interactive courses using our Programs feature. Build your coaching library with templates and reusable content. And sell access to your coaching programs with subscriptions or one-time payments. Customize colors and connect your domain to give clients a fully branded experience. You can use Clarityflow on the web or our mobile apps for iPhone, iPad, or Android. And connect any other apps using our Zapier integration. Start with a free trial or request a personalized demo and consultation by going to clarityflow.com. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, I mean, I can probably spend the rest of this podcast just trying to dig in on the technical side of software development and Scrum in general. But I think, what's more interesting for coaches, whether you're technical or not, is kind of the interesting way that you've sort of like connected the dots. We started to talk about this a little bit off air before we started recording here. So tell me about like scrum.org and, because behind this methodology, there's this sort of like organization. Like, how did you get involved in that? And yeah.
Yeah. So Scrum.org, I've been, like I said, connected to for as a trainer for over a decade now. Just as well as a consumer for another 3 years before that, I believe, in my first Scrum class. And I've used Scrum earlier than that still. But Scrum.org generally has a mission of helping teams, people in teams, solve complex problems. And I actually work as a staff member for them as well. So it's kind of this bi-directional relationship. I use their materials to conduct my business, and they're a client that I help build more things for, including coaching offerings, which we're leaning into next. And it's a cool organization that is trying to help people just live in the realm of complexity, in the realm of knowledge work, and the kind of things that people struggle with all the time, where there is no just plan, do this and you will be successful. That's where we work.